welcome to the Bold Black Girls podcast. I'm Aries.
And I am Kim.
It's not Black History Month, but we have on Black History Month t-shirts.
It is actually March 1st. So, yesterday was a leap day. This is a leap year.
A couple people had birthdays. We had a person on our team that had a birthday.
Oh,
so somebody in our team had sent a group text to our group.
I love it.
Like, hey, what are you, like 7 now? So, yeah, that was cute. I'm like, that would suck, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you really don't have your birthday.
True. I said I'm going to start telling people how old I am in months. So, when they ask me, how old are you? You know, because when people ask me at work, what floor are you on? I said 15 minus 1.
You're so difficult.
I know. They're like, what? If you're witty, you'll catch on.
You'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it. And it's an easy math equation.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 is our top floor.
Oh, that's the top floor?
Yeah. That's what the executive said.
So you got to think of what's your age in months?
Ooh.
Let me see.
That's a lot.
12. How old are you?
I keep telling people I'm 35, so just put that in there.
That's not true. You're like 38 or something?
No, I'm not 38.
37?
Yeah.
You're supposed to know this math by heart.
Right.
444 months?
I knew it was like 450. 444 months.
That's funny. I'm going to be 41. Jesus.
It seems like you just turned 40.
But you know what's cool is that when I'm out and about and like somebody asks me, they're like, no, you're kidding. These youngsters was trying to holler the last weekend, or this weekend, I guess.
Okay.
And I was like, how old are you? And it was like 26, 31. I'm like, oh, that's sweet.
I can be your auntie.
I'm like,
come here.
And I was like, she is not. You, you lying.
Yeah, you look good for your age.
I'm like, well, you know. Black don't crack them. I got good genes.
And when you drink water and green tea.
Just try not to have a rough life.
That type of stress. Because my 20th high school reunion is coming up. And
you're not going, are you?
I don't know. I don't think that I am. Chicago is very expensive.
You should go. I mean, you know what? I'm telling you that, and I didn't go to mine.
Right. So why are you telling me I should go to mine?
I don't know.
If I haven't made it to Chicago by then, I may.
When is it?
I want to say maybe August.
Oh, okay.
So it shouldn't be hot, and summertime shy is like...
August is not?
It might and it might not be. It just depends.
I gotta go out there in like 2 weeks.
Oh, it's not going to be hot.
I know.
Do you want to borrow my coat?
I might.
Okay.
Luckily, I'm only gonna be staying like within a 10-minute area of the airport.
So you
and the
should
hotel,
be good.
like the office, the hotel, all that is like right in the same little.
Well, look, she went to Wisconsin and she showed me this coat that she was wearing.
It was just fine.
It did not come to her knees.
It don't need to come to my knees.
Oh, no.
But
yep.
The day after I left, or I think it was like the day or two after we left, it snowed like to where my coworker was like, yeah, I work from home because it was like a whole bunch of snow came. I'm like, oh, let me hurry up and get up out of here. I'm not with that. But yeah, because Facebook kind of messed up the class reunion thing to me.
How? How so?
Well, because on Facebook, I was seeing everybody on Facebook.
Okay.
So what do I need to go to the reunion for?
Exactly. I have all my updates.
I was like,
I don't know.
I already know what y'all look like. We're good.
You know, that's a flight, that's hotel, that's car rental. And car rental in Chicago is not cheap.
Chicago's not cheap at all.
Correct. And I like to eat too, so that's not even the food. So.
And if you don't have any, I don't know. I didn't really have any people that I was trying to see there.
Right.
I'm like, everybody that I want to talk to, I'm talking to already.
I mean, it would be nice to see people. There are a few. There are a couple. It's just hard when you are not there physically. If I was physically there, of course, I would probably
because you would be seeing, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the cost for me. Like, for them, it's $250. For me, it's going to be $2,500.
And I think ours, exactly, and I think ours was in, it was in like June or July or something. And I was like, I am not about to come out there just for this. But I think I went out of town anyways. But still.
I'll see. I'll be a last minute attendee if so. You know, pop in, pop out. We'll see.
Well,
you know, I know I don't look like I've been out of high school for 20 years. Like you, no one thinks that Kiara's my daughter. They always think we're sisters.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with how you act as well.
This is true.
So you have a lot of energy. So that contributes to it.
I try. So let's talk about our weekend. So we're gonna.
You were the most active.
Well,
literally.
So someone asked me, yeah, you know what? I might have been. It's that season.
When was that? When did we go?
So I was gonna say we got the shirts.
Right.
Actually, you won this shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went to Intuit.
Again.
We love them. They love us. Their African Ancestry Network is like their Black ERG.
So shout out to
Tia and Latoya. Yes. And everybody else, because now they like y'all up in here. They looking for us whenever one of us is not.
I was like,
there.
just give me a badge.
Right. We need access. I already made friends with the security guards and stuff over there.
Oh my gosh.
And they always have good food. So when their ERG does events, they have Black-owned businesses coming in to be vendors. So this time this one was called
Power and Prosperity.
Power and Prosperity. And they were highlighting local Black-owned businesses.
Yes.
And that was a really, really good conversation. It was Smoky John's. Val's Cheesecake. That was good. I had banana pudding.
Yeah, I had too. I won't tell you.
I know you had the turtle one.
Had turtle and I think I had red velvet.
Red velvet. And then Cookie Society.
Oh.
I'm sad because I didn't get to get my cookie. I meant to come back and get it, and then it was like we had to hurry up. Berkshire Farms, the winery.
And Just Elope.
Just Elope. Yep. So really good. And the food was the bomb, and everything else was just like, as usual, high quality. So they had a raffle, and I had to leave like right at the time that it ended because the boys their dad was bringing them up there to meet me. So right at 7:30, I was like, okay, I'm walking out. And then Kim hit me up and was like, you won the shirt. I was like, I won something. I never win anything.
She was like, Aries. I'm like, oh, she's not. Because at first they said, oh, you had to be present, but you wrote your name.
Yeah.
And I was there. So I got a shirt because she won.
See, look at God.
Yeah, favor.
Just because of just being in the
who
vicinity.
You connected to.
Exactly. So yeah, I was like, come on, somebody. So that was cool. And so that's why we're wearing these now.
We're excited.
It
I
says
love
Black
our shirt.
History Month, and at the bottom it has Intuit. But yeah, it was perfect for Bold Black Girls podcast. I'm like, we can wear these whenever we want to.
Yes.
It don't have to be February. So yes, that was
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few of us left and went somewhere else. Had a good time.
I went home. I was being a mom.
So someone asked the question while we were out. So when does your weekend really start? And I was like, a Friday.
Right.
And I had to think about that because my weekends actually start Thursday night.
Do they?
For me, because I really don't hang out on Saturdays.
But what about Friday? So why you say Thursday night?
Because happy hour.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You go to happy hour on Thursday nights?
Not all the time, but sometimes.
Oh.
It's cheaper to go during the week.
It is.
It's less people during the week.
That's true. Less traffic.
Yes. Better deals.
I usually can't because I have the kids. So.
But they'll be older soon.
I told them, I'm like, can y'all hurry up and mature so I can leave y'all at home by yourself
for a couple
sometimes?
of hours. Yeah.
The most I do is I'll leave them and go run to Walmart right quick or something like that. And they'll be like, yes, you can leave us for real, Mom.
They're pretty mature, though.
But no.
You don't trust them?
They're not ready yet.
Okay.
They
you
need
know
about,
your children.
They need about 2 more years.
Do you think if it was one, could you do it? If it was just one of them?
No, because they wouldn't want to stay, probably.
No, if you had one child.
No.
No.
Well, no, because they wouldn't want to stay home by themselves.
Oh, got it.
When I was growing up, me and my sister stayed home, but my sister's 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
So she may have been 12, you know, or something like that, but she was, you know, able to handle the household. They don't know what to do.
These new kids.
I know, they different. But I'm working on it. Marvin learning how to wash dishes. He washes clothes. LJ takes out the trash.
You better get them ready
LJ
for life.
does the breakfast now for them. I'm like, I ain't got to get out the bed. And then Marvin came up to my bedroom the other day after they was in there doing their thing. And I'm reading my Bible plan. And Marvin said, Mom, can I make your coffee? I was like, you sure can.
That was sweet.
I was like, yes.
Look at him over here anticipating needs.
So he'll get mad if I make it. He be like, that's my job. I can do that. I'm like,
ooh, keep that energy.
come on, keep that
energy.
Keep that same energy. So yeah, I was like, now it makes sense with my mom. I used to be like, you trying to make us your maid? You have us just to be your maid? Because she always had us cleaning up. But really, it's life skills. You learn how to take care of someone other than yourself.
Correct. Because
when I'm around here, I said, so who gonna do it if you don't do it? Who gonna do it? Now you looking like, oh, I'm supposed to clean up behind you. You should be clean. We all should be helping around here. This is all of our stuff.
This is our home.
Exactly. So.
And I saw something on Twitter the other day. I think I sent it to you. So having them do this good because remember I had surgery before and I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. So Kiara literally had to go to the grocery store. I mean, my mother took her, but I had to write down, hey, this is what you should get. And that was a valuable lesson for her because she then saw, wow, this is what this costs.
Yes.
I'm going to get the smaller version because it's cheaper and we only need this much. And so on that Twitter post, she said she was taking her son to the grocery store. She had him to do the groceries. She said, whatever is left, you can have it. So if you can get the bill under a certain amount, so that's incentive, okay. Let me try and...
What's the deal? Which ones? Yes. I'm going to do that with
That's
LJ.
a good life skill.
Because I think she said her son was 10.
Yes.
That'll be good for and you learning your math. Cool. Get your calculator out. I used to do that because when you go to college and you don't have no money, that calculator was a friend.
Hello?
For real.
And you don't want to be like one of my friends or our friends. So we're at the Plano PSA Sports Association. So we're at a game. So he says, hey, I want a pretzel. So she gives him $20. He comes back
with no change.
No change.
Boy, if you don't get your butt back over there and get my money.
No. The girl said that they didn't have any change. That's what she told him.
So he just gave her the 20.
Yep, and was walking eating a pretzel.
Oh,
I hollered laughing.
I'm about to knock your side of your head. I'll get my money.
So that's the importance of having your kids to go in and purchase things aloud.
I tell them to bring my change back.
Yep. All of it.
All my money. Yeah.
Life skills are very, very important. So let's get into our weekend. So we did that. Oh, wait. What did you do Friday?
What did I do Friday?
I don't know. Did you do anything Friday?
I think, I was pretty much here all day. I stepped out for a second. And then I was literally in bed all day, Saturday, from morning till night, till Sunday morning. I was like, I can't.
She sure was.
Well, first of all, okay, so Friday I had recorded for my other podcast.
Scratch It and Survive and go listen.
And as soon as I came out of here, probably from pushing this is when you know you're old. All I could think of is me pushing myself up out of this seat. Because I'm talking about my shoulder right on the little ball, kind of toward the front, was sore. I'm like, what is... like an injury, like I pulled something or whatever. I'm like, nah, this is old lady gang right here.
Old lady gang.
Because all night it was sore. It kept on bothering me all night. I kept on stretching. I'm like, what is going on? So Saturday when I woke up, it was worse because I had slept on it. I usually sleep on this side. And I had slept on it. And when I tell you, I had an ice pack on my shoulder all day. And then today, it was fine. So it was, I said, now this is...
life after...
that let you know you need to be stretching.
You really do.
And all that. So I'm like, at least let me do that. If I'm not going to do nothing else.
I had 1 week where my back was hurting. I slept on a heating pad for about a week. And I was laid across the bed stretching.
That back pain.
I was hanging over the bed to stretch my back out.
Back pain and tooth pain is like the worst pain.
Well.
Debilitating.
Stomach pain too.
Yeah.
So what I did this weekend, I did early voting.
I did early vote as well.
So I went Friday, picked up Kiara, made her go vote, took her, walked her in, made sure she got the correct ballot.
No voter suppression.
Right. Well, I wanted to be influenced. Okay? So then we went to lunch, and then I went to Melon Fest. So we heard about it at Tiffany Ellis's event, Parts and PR, right? And so I was like, let me check this out.
Homegirl therapist. What is it?
Homegirl
what is it called?
Therapist, the homegirl therapist.
I think so.
She was on the panel, but it wasn't her event.
Yeah.
It was Victoria's event. So Friday night was mental health, and so they had meditation 101, but traffic was too bad, so I didn't.
You didn't make that one?
I didn't make it.
Okay.
Because they were doing some type of sound therapy.
Ooh.
And so
I would have been interested in that.
Yeah, but the traffic wouldn't let me be great here in Dallas. We are full and at
On
capacity.
the weekend, I mean on a Friday night, you can forget it.
That's
Especially
what
if you have to go down
that's
to
why
75.
Yep, that's why I'm going happy hour down there. Everything has to be
Keep it
within, within a 15.
Above the 635.
And really, I don't even want to go on the freeway if I'm going to happy hour.
You don't want to get on the freeway, period.
I don't.
But, you know.
Right. You're right. You're right.
I want to get there. Quick.
I'm a street driver. So I missed that session, but I did make Girl Talk. And so they had 3 therapists on the panel. And, you know, mental health has become a very popular topic, right, amongst the Black community, simply because therapy was something that was looked down upon, right?
Yes.
And I think we need more of it. You know, we probably said this on a couple of podcasts, but it'll help you cope and deal with difficult people.
So many people really need to go explore this, because what happens is I feel like what we've done instead of the therapy is put our stuff on everybody else around us.
Yes.
And we are not equipped to handle each other's stuff. And that's one thing we definitely can take from the white community.
Yes.
That they were always really open about talking about it.
Yep.
You know, they were like, my therapist said this, you know, you'd be like, therapy, what's wrong with you? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, even my dad, he told my mom one time, like, that's why your daughter in therapy.
Making a joke out
Making
of
it like it's her fault, you know. And I'm like, no, it's both of y'all. But, yeah, so it's like, that's something that we need to stop putting the burden on each other.
Yeah.
Even your partner, your family, your parents, your whoever, your kids, everybody. Get your own, because you need the outlet to really talk through things. Sometimes it's just about having an unbiased person to listen and kind of help you rationalize things, because a lot of times it's a lot of irrational thoughts that we'll have or focus on, and you just need somebody to kind of break it down. So
yeah.
I think we need to definitely do that.
And we all face some type of trauma at some point in our life, right? It's different. And like you said, I know people who have projected things on me, and I've had to say, wait, I am at capacity. I cannot handle that. So we have trained professionals who have gone to school for this to help you. And they paid a lot of money. So let's help them pay these student loans.
Exactly.
And patronize them, right?
Yes.
They're trained. So it ended up, I'm looking at the panel, and I was like, I know that girl. I've used her before. And so it was two ladies on there who I actually knew, and they were all phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it was good information. And then afterwards,
it is something for men, right?
So they did a mentality. So they kicked all the women out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was just for the brothers. It was only like 12 or 15. I was like,
That's
where
enough.
is Dallas? Let's go to the strip club.
Y'all need to be up in here.
Yes. How can we bring them here?
Right.
How do we get them here? But, I mean, that's a start.
You gotta want it.
What else I did like about it as well was there was a book exchange. So they had people to donate books. And no one was really picking up books, right? And I saw that and I kept looking. I was like, would I be a thief if I steal that book?
So I go stealing.
Well, I went on Instagram because I didn't know that they were doing that. And I was like, oh my God, I can pick up this book. This is my love language. So I took a book. And it was a good book. Angela Duckworth, Grit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have that.
I don't have it. So I wanted it.
Is it small and fat?
Yes.
I have that.
Yeah.
I need to read it. Maybe we can read it together.
I was just going to say that. We should read it together. It holds us accountable when we read things together.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that. And then that Girl Talk didn't start till 8:45.
You got sleepy?
Sister was sleepy.
I'm going to say, you probably nodded off up in there.
I might have.
You good for nodding off and then waking back up like you was always awake.
It jumped right back in the conversation.
What is it? Who's going? What's going on here?
So it was, like I said, it was good. And then afterwards they had Poet and Paint. I was like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
You'll be asleep.
Yeah.
Poet and Paint.
Look, Paint just...
with poetry.
Yes. So I
Lullaby.
left. You know your friend.
Right.
So I left and I went home. So Saturday was physical fitness because they broke it out into different components: mental health, physical health. I didn't get a ticket for Sunday because it was sold out, but it was about business and finance. So I really loved the agenda.
How much was this?
$20
for all 3 days.
Yes.
Oh wow!
I was like, I eat $20
right
in one sitting.
One meal, yeah. That's good.
A good brunch will cost you $35 with a mimosa.
For real.
So that was my weekend, and here we are.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that kind of feeds that growth, I'm always down for that.
And there's so many events that are going on, and you want to support people. A lot of support people, but I am very intentional in picking and choosing. I thought that was a great event, and we met the chicks. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and support.
And you got to run into some folks.
I did, and meet some new people.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting into our episode today, our theme for the month. It is March 1st officially. Spring is upon us.
Spring is coming.
And the weather has been very nice here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
The sun has been shining. It's been very warm. So we thought a perfect theme would be spring into action. So we've talked about personal development in our January theme. Love is in February. So it's like, okay, we've talked about how to prepare and look within and goal set. So let's put that into action.
Yes.
So what better way to do that than spring? So first up, here we are, 60 days, right?
I know.
60 days in.
It went by so...
Too fast.
It felt like it went by fast. Mostly for me because I had, I started this new job at the first week of January. So I was like, yeah, new job. Da, da, da. You had your 30, 60, 90 days. I'm like, wait, I'm in my 60-day side? Wait, I'm not there. Because once you get into the job, you learn, like, what you really need to learn and all that. And I get really particular about, how much or what I'm focusing my learning on. So there'll be a lot of content as far as training, but I'm like, okay, what's required and what do I need to know right away to kind of get the ball moving, and then I can continue to learn as I go forward. So that's part that I've been just kind of feeling my way around, like what my special way of doing this job is. So I think I'm starting to get my bearings, and it is new, so it was a lot of learning for me, brand new content as far as like software and the cloud and all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot about areas that I already were kind of, going to these events, at a high level and stuff like that. But now getting into the nitty gritty of like what it really is and what it's about. So very interesting. I went to an event that like a summit. So I've been looking at other events outside of my company that will help me learn more as well as meet people in the industry. So
more exposure,
the networking, now that I'm going to be building kind of a book of business, I need to know who's in business, who is it, who's out here, who are the customers. So I was able to test out what I've been learning at this summit last week.
So how did you find the summit? People
on
always ask me.
LinkedIn.
See? Reading's fundamental.
Yep, something just popped up, I think, on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, let me see what this is about. And then I signed up, and it was at the Four Seasons. They give you a free lunch. It was free. I didn't have to pay anything.
And you had lunch at the Four Seasons.
They had snacks. They had lunch. They had everything. So I was like, I'm going to keep finding stuff like this around town.
Exactly.
So my company, it's like they didn't have to pay for any of that. Like, this is just stuff that I'm doing on the side. And then I met somebody who was like, I love your company. Like, we need to work together. I'm like,
see,
look at that. Look at that. Come on.
Just by going to that event.
Yeah. So, and then they did like an activity where we sat together and kind of talked through a couple things as a team. And so I realized then, like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. Like, because they were like,
so you can apply what you learned.
Yes. And they were validating that what I was saying was like, yes. And that's what I'm like, so I do know how to talk to my customers now. It was like my way of kind of validating that
You need to document that as an accomplishment.
I do. I'm going to actually write that down. So I'm just kind of getting my bearings and stuff, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. So I'm like, okay, you got 30 days to, get something really popping right now. So I'm kind of putting that on myself.
You've been heads down, I must say, with like your training. Every time we'll check in, he's like, yeah, I did this training.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to also be a self-starter, because some people might just sit there and wait for someone to push it to them.
This is not the
You're pulling the information.
This is not the kind of industry. Yeah, no, they don't do that. It's very hands-off, which I appreciate because I like autonomy.
Ooh.
I do not like people micromanaging me. So that also puts more pressure, though, because it's like, okay, well, I'm not micromanaging you. What you doing? Right. So you do have to still, make sure you're doing some things and I am. So, yeah, that's what I've been on this first, kind of little quarter, I guess you would say.
First quarter, because at the end of the month, it will be 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So in my spectrum of things, we had a huge layoff where I work, and I lost my boss, who was very near and dear to me.
We love him.
I know. When he acts right.
I
can say that now.
Y'all been friends for 18 years.
We
so,
really have.
Yeah.
So what I had already established in my mind was that, okay, I've been with this company for 19, 20 years. I need to make sure I'm staying relevant, right? Because there's other jobs internally and externally that I want to pivot to, right? So they say every 3 to 5 years, you should make that pivot.
And honestly, I feel like now we're at 2 to 3.
Right. So
talk to Carolyn. She's the one who does it great. D.
Oh, okay. She does.
She be moving around up in that company, but they have so many roles that you can do that.
Exactly.
But every 2 to 3 years, she even says that she's like moving on.
She's right, and so that's
building up skill sets.
It's time. So I've also kind of been doing my own personal training without anyone telling me. Just say, hey, I need to do this, or I think I would like to do this role. So I've updated a resume. Last year was my word of the year was preparation. So I felt like I'm preparing for whatever new season this is that's coming, because I feel a shift in the air.
It's happening.
Right.
It ain't in the air. It's already.
It's happening.
We in it.
We are in it. And so I hired a gentleman to update my LinkedIn and my resume. It was worth it. And then what I've started to do is refine my resume, and then I have a resume for the different roles that I'm applying for.
I love it.
So I wanted to put myself out there and say, hey, even for interviewing skills, because I've been with this company all this time, you don't really have to, you interview, but I know these people say, hey, Kim, I think Kim will be great for this job. So I need to get those interviewing skills externally so that I'm prepared should something like that happen to me.
I love the idea of interviewing, even if you're not necessarily looking.
Right.
Because you do need to practice, and you feel more confident when you do it. Last year when I was looking for, I wasn't really looking, I was looking, really but I wasn't looking, I'm like always kind of looking. But I went on a couple interviews, and I was like, I didn't really like, how that one turned out. Let me do this different. And just kind of you can augment your style, because I think the interviewing style has changed too over the years. So especially when you being in that role for so long, you do need to go practice, that, and talk through all the points, and then get it down so that when the real deal comes, you're like confident, ready.
Because a lot of it has to do with confidence, right? And if you're not confident, they can sense it.
Yep.
So that has been one of my goals for the first quarter, and I actually had a couple of recruiters reach out to me, but I didn't go through with like one of them because it was just too far. It was too far.
Was it Fort Worth or something?
It was like by the airport. Yeah. It was,
yeah, no.
Yeah. That's an hour.
You already live in Lucas, so.
I do want to live in Lucas at one point.
Those houses are nice. I've been up in some of those, because this lady that I used to work with, she was a VP. And I was like, oh, this is over here. I didn't even know this was over here.
Right.
So.
And then I'm also identifying like local, similar to you, summits, conferences, events. I know I would love to go to Afrotech in 2020.
We're going. What are you talking about?
You're right.
I know. We're going.
We're manifesting.
We're going. It's on the calendar. What are you saying?
We're going to go to Afrotech.
We're going. We might be speaking at Afrotech.
Oh, well, then put it out there then. Put it
out there.
The BBG.
It's out there.
So that's one conference that we will be at. And then I was looking at local conferences similar to you. Free. Yes. Free conferences, or just, small budget. And so that's actually one of my questions that I'll have for my new manager is funding conferences.
What's the budget?
What is the budget for Kim? So I went to the Black in Design, and I might have mentioned this on the previous podcast. So that was a great summit. Definitely well worth it. I thought that was a UX. It was.
Was that the same thing?
Yeah, okay. Same thing. And so that was like a great conference to kick off the first quarter. So we'll see what second and third looks like, because we already have something established for the fourth quarter. All right.
I love it. I think it's important to do that. Go try and find different things that help fuel what you're going to be doing. I was just talking to one of my mentees about that. Like, do some stuff outside of your work so that you can fulfill that passion, that goal, your purpose, all that kind of stuff. Because your job may just be there, to help you, but keep on doing stuff that's outside of like your actual job. If you're trying to do something different, find that stuff. Eventbrite is a great place to search.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I do. I'll go in there and just put the keywords in, like cloud, this or whatever, and see what else is going on. Talk to people at other events and be like, okay, so what other things do you have planned this year? And like, oh, we're going to this thing. When is that? Wait, let me put that on my calendar.
Send it over.
Yeah. So
I have relationships like that too. Like, hey, did you hear about this?
Mm-hmm.
So getting connected with people, that networking is not just for that event. Yes. Because I have people, hey, Kim, we have this event coming up. You and Aries should come. All right, registering. I mean, we register each other for events.
Yeah,
all the time.
You're registered for that.
We double registered for an event. She said, you sent me the email, like, I registered us. I'm like, I already did that.
Right. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me.
Right, I forgot. And this is the calendar queen over here.
We have a shared calendar. I have one with you. I have one with the boys' dad. I have one with my mom. Who else?
I have one with Kiara.
Yeah. So, like, if I'm out of town for work or whatever.
Everyone should know.
I put people on. And I'm like, you're picking up the boys that day.
That's good because that's a reminder. It's like, use this technology. And that calendar holds you accountable.
I used to set a calendar every December. I would actually go through the full year. This is when our schedule was like every other weekend and Tuesdays and Thursdays. He had the kids. Like, it was some, I had everything in there highlighted for the whole following year. These are your days. And I need to swap this, and this day, whatever. So we already knew. But now with the technology, where we can share a calendar, nope, we don't need
no excuses on why you're not where you're supposed to be at that time, right?
Right.
I'm just saying.
I need it. It's like, if it's not on my calendar, I'm going to forget.
Well, my motto is don't be a dummy with the smartphone.
I like that motto.
I tell Kiara that all the time. Don't be a dummy. Don't make dumb decisions with that phone.
I tell the boys, I'm like, they ask me questions. I'm like, Google, you got everything at your fingertips. Go talk to Alexa is up in there listening to every doggone thing. I'm getting them one. I finally saw one in there. I'm like, y'all come get your own. Ask her stuff. LJ started cheating then. He'd be like, Alexa, what's this time? This? I'm like, no, boy.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah.
I wish we had that when we were in our
Man, that would have been the best. But, yeah, so I'm like,
that's
no.
why I had to show your work.
Don't ask me. Go.
Ask Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any personal goals that you could think of?
For me, well, I don't think I really set any.
I didn't either.
I said I was going to start going to the gym. I think I said that here on the podcast. I went once.
That's a start.
And
you had the first start, right? So you did start.
Yeah, my plan originally was to go to the yoga, but the yoga place that I wanted to go to used to be right by my house. It was so convenient. And then they shut it down. So I'm like, see, it's not meant to be.
So, no, that's not an excuse.
I'm like,
because
man.
we know you have a membership locally, so you can use. You probably have two.
I do.
Yeah, I'm struggling at the gym though.
Why do you feel like you're struggling right now?
Because it's not doing something I enjoy.
And it used to be our social place.
It did, and I miss it.
It's not that anymore.
It is not. I miss
and
everyone.
We need like a place to congregate as a group. Like twice a week at least.
Yes.
Being like, y'all, we need to create, we can create it ourselves.
I've thought about that, like
be
a
like
bold black girl, bold
day.
black girl workout.
Just be like, on these days, we're gonna meet up at the gym.
Well, I was like, we can meet at the park. It's free, right? Because some people don't have a membership at the same gyms. And some
they're
of us,
not there no more?
And some of us are now located in different locations.
Oh, yeah.
We're not all living still in the same suburbs.
See, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Then. Well, we're going to have to do it ourselves.
Once a month. I was like, well, maybe Aries and I can hire a trainer. And we just have the trainer train us.
That's true.
It's been a struggle.
But it has to be the right kind of workout.
Yeah, because
like
I need
for me,
ratchet music.
I'm going through, I don't know if it's,
I know where you're going.
From getting out of, but like my energy is so low, and so when I go do something, it needs to be fun. I need to feel like I'm not really working out.
Yeah.
The thought of going in there and doing all them weights like I used to do, it just sounds like the worst.
Because you used to be good about that.
I'm an
Walk
athletic
around
person.
with that towel like I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna lift weights.
I'm an athletic person. I would go in there and do a whole routine, on weights by myself. And now it's just like, it's mentally.
It is.
I'm mentally defeated right now. So I gotta
look.
As I'm doing all this other stuff, I think that has a lot to do with it as well. I wasn't doing as much extracurricular things. So one of my real personal goals is this year to start aligning all of my things together. So my work, this podcast, and the network and stuff all need to kind of go and need to be automated. Like it all needs to be benefiting each thing. All the other extra outside stuff, I can't. So.
Which actually goes into our next topic. So, alignment, like you said, it needs to, like my goals and values. So, for instance, what's near and dear to Aries and I, and what connects us is growth and development, continuous growth. Technology, we absolutely love technology. So, one of the things that we decided to do is this upcoming Saturday, we are volunteering for the Black Girls Code at Microsoft.
Yes.
So
they're going to be teaching girls Python. And I think the ages are 7 to 17 or something like that, or is it older?
So
10 to 17, something like that. But yeah, so one of our people in our network, Kim, I ran into her somewhere, and then she had posted it on LinkedIn, and then I went in and signed us up for the volunteer thing. And then that's that. Because we were like, we want to make sure that what we're doing on the podcast, that's really what our passion is. We're trying to impact young girls
who look like us,
who won't see people who look like them doing these jobs, frequently. They're not going to just see that walking around. So they need to see as many women as possible that are doing this, that maybe living the same kind of life as them, who knows, but that can help influence. So I'm really excited about that.
I am too, and it's Saturday morning. We have to get up real early.
Because of Kim.
I prefer the first shift of anything.
I'm fine with the first shift.
So I can get a nap before the evening nap festivities.
Right.
So I am excited about that because I've always actually wanted to volunteer for them.
I didn't really realize that they were even here because I hadn't seen much.
Yeah, they're here.
But I think I wasn't really tapped into that network. Right. So now I'm like, no, we need to be out here.
And I feel like when we do things in pairs, it holds us accountable, right?
Yes.
Because I think we may have to go to some training.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know, hey, friend, come on, let's get in the car, let's go together, it holds you accountable. Because I'll tell you, when I did volunteer last time, I wanted to, I got lazy. I was like, oh, I don't want to take that drive.
Mm-hmm.
I really was lazy.
So see, we can carpool.
Yeah. So, and if one of my values is excellence, then Kim, you got to be excellent in helping the next generation. Yeah. So as I climb, I need to pull up.
Exactly.
And you can't be something you don't see.
Because I would have loved to have been one of the girls in this program. Like that was right up my alley at that age. So I never saw any black women doing jobs that I would have, known possible. I was like, I'm about to be in computers. That's all I knew. And so, but if I had seen like a bunch of black women in there, I'm like,
that would have
I could really do this, I mean, it all worked out, but still, who knows what the path would have been.
Exactly.
If it would have been something totally different. So.
Well, I mean, and just the exposure, right? So I put Kieran into DigiGirls, which was a summer program offered by Microsoft. That same person that I met, I told her about my daughter. She was like, I know her. So just that connection, you don't know where that connection is going to take Kiara or myself.
Yeah.
Right? We both could be working in Microsoft.
Look, I'm signing the boys up for some coding camps this summer, and they actually teach them like animation and how to create the games, the apps that they're playing, the actual games that they play, like Roblox and all these games they love. Learn how to make that.
Yep, while you're playing it.
Yes, exactly. Now you can be on that if you're on the computer creating it, but don't just be playing somebody else's stuff. Yeah, try to learn how to do your own. So yeah, I'm loving all of that. So.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm very excited in the fact that what we're trying to do isn't necessarily connected to our job.
Exactly.
We are not defined by our jobs or the companies that we work for.
It's connected to our purpose.
And our passion.
And that is something that does not have to be connected to your job. You are, so I was talking about this on the the other podcast, like, you are your purpose.
Yes.
What your purpose is, that's what you were created to do, to be. You are that everywhere you go. You're going to take it with you everywhere. So whether you're flipping burgers or, actually working a job, like doing these, certain things that seem like they're directly, you're still that. You're going to leave an impact with everybody you come in contact with,
That's
no
true.
matter what. So if you're flipping burgers, go outside and go volunteer for this other thing that makes you feel more fulfilled, in that purpose or that passion that you have. It doesn't have to be. Because you need that. You may just need that job to get those bills, taken care of.
This is true.
So,
this is true. And again, you never know. You're supposed to be there for that reason, and you don't know where that's going to lead you.
Exactly.
Just by helping somebody else. And, a lot of times we look for what is exchanged for us. Sometimes just give.
Yes. Giving is how you're going to end up. That principle of the sower is so real. Like, giving is, I guess people don't get it until you actually give. Like, you don't see it until you actually become a giver. And it's not about like, oh, I give you this, you give me that. It's a principle.
Yes.
It is something that no matter if you believe in God or not, when you put seed in the ground and you water that thing, it's going to grow. That's just period. So you are giving of yourself, of these things. That's your point. That's your purpose in this grand scheme of this world, this plan that's in motion. If you're not giving, now you're hoarding something that's supposed to give back to the world.
Right.
And now somebody else is not getting what they're supposed to get because you're holding back your gifts. And then guess what? If somebody else over here is holding back, you're not getting what you're supposed to get. So you just got to freely give, and it's going to come back to you.
Right.
It just will. Whether you don't do it to get, because it may not happen right now. It may be 10 years from now, maybe for your child. Something you gave. We over here volunteering Black Girls Code, and then my grandchild or somebody end up, you just never know,
Exactly.
So that's just how I think about it all the time. Like,
so if I could think of something, the Bold Black Girls, we're trying to inspire, influence, and leave impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure that I'm walking in my purpose, my God-given purpose.
Yes.
And I can take my talents and skills wherever. Right?
You are your purpose. So
Exactly.
if your job leave you, then your purpose didn't go with it.
Correct.
It's still with you. You take it everywhere. So now you're like, okay, me and my purpose are going over here now. And that's just what it is. So I had to learn that the hard way from when, like, I got laid off. When I got laid off the first, I was like, I don't know who I am. I really, because I was like the one in the family that had money,
right,
that was doing, and so I'm like, who am I? Like, they're not going to call me. They're not going to need anything. What
right.
happens when people need anything and I don't have it? Like, how do I do, So I really had to go through that whole mindset thing, change of saying, like, no, Aries, that's because of who you, like, you are, this is you. Like, this is not a title. So once I learned that, it just made me so much more confident in every other thing that I've ever done. So never had that happen again.
Well,
that feeling.
That's a good thing. I think a lot of people need to do the inner work.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that discovery and of our goals and values, I'm in a shift now where less is more.
Yes.
So there is no fear of missing out on an event, right? If I don't make the event, if I see it on live, oh, that's great. All right, I'm in the bed reading, listening to a podcast or whatever that may be, or I maybe can't go out to happy hour because I'm saving up to go to a conference. So I have to choose what's important, right? What's meaningful over
priorities.
Yes.
We need to have your, if you know what your priorities are, then you know what you can and cannot do.
Right.
And then you're not tripping off of it because you're like, I have a goal, I have a purpose, I can be patient, I can wait so that, because I know this is something else bigger. But if you don't have anything, then you're like, I don't want to wait, I want to do it now because you don't have nothing else to look forward to.
Ooh, which goes into our next topic.
Oh, look at me being all.
So, I know, you can transition us in. So, back in 2014, 2015, we did an anticipation list and a happy list, right? Yes. We really should have been doing that annually. And I did do it a couple of times.
I did it a couple of times.
So, that whole being patient, anticipation, right? So, Valerie Burton is the one, Happy Women Live Better. Go read that book. It's a great book. That's where we got the idea from. So this anticipation list is, okay, what am I anticipating for the year? And I kid you not, when I wrote that list, 95% of that actually occurred.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can put things that you already know are going to happen. Like, I'm anticipating my vacation this, Christmas or whatever.
Right.
Like, you could already have a book. I'm anticipating Afrotech, or whatever. Yes. And put that there, because what it is mentally letting you know that there's something else to look forward to.
Yes.
That's really what the exercise is about. So you can either put something that you want to happen, but it's really something that's meant to be really like tangible, something that's actually, it could be, I look forward to reading, watching a movie with my kids this weekend, or something like that. It could be something very little. It don't have to be like, I'm going to Ghana,
right.
Which that is going to be on my list because I want to take me and my kids. After this Corona gets situated. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah.
So we encourage you to write that. Not only your anticipation, but your happy list.
Happy list is the first one.
Yeah. And the happy list does not equate to anything financial.
What's on my happy list?
Tell us what's on your happy list. And on this happy list, we wrote
and it can
things,
grow.
Yeah, we wrote things like one of my happy lists is taking a nap.
Mine was baths.
Yes.
Things that make you happy. Drinking tea.
Yes. It doesn't require a lot of money or money at all.
Exactly.
My other happy list is hobbies, right? So I think a lot of times we get going back to that conversation about you are not your job. Find things that fuel you outside of work, right? You have to feed and fuel your joy. So I'm good for looking in the Parks and Recreation catalog. So for instance, I want to take a water aerobics class. Last year I said, hey, I want to learn golf. So I took a golf class.
You did.
And so this year I want to take a tap class. So it's a lot of these classes.
What about like that? Are you doing like a DJ class or something like that too?
I found a DJ. Aren't you coming with me?
When is it? You didn't give me any.
Well, I think it's just different sessions. So it's just a matter of.
That would be so fun.
I really want. So I told
DJ
Kiara,
Aries.
I already have the name DJ Killer Kim.
Killer Kim. That's Killer Kim established.
And I'm going to be the DJ that comes from the DJ booth and dance on the floor.
Oh my God. We could be a duo.
I know, the Bold Black Girls.
I know. I'll be back there.
Because, there are tons of women events. Look at Beyonce. Everyone in her band is a woman, right?
The DJ for the Dallas Mavericks is a woman.
She sure
Poison
is.
Ivy.
She sure is.
Yeah. My internet's slow. I don't know what's going on. I can't do it. Oh,
well, just tell us a few of your happy things.
Remember? I think I had Skittles was on there.
Yep. What else? I think mine might have been definitely naps, reading.
Naps are in there for sure.
Spending time with Kiara.
Kisses from my kids.
Aww.
Like when my kids actively if Marvin just walks up to me and gives me a hug and stuff, like holds on to me, I'm like, ooh, I'm holding on to this forever because I don't know when I'm gonna get this again.
Exactly.
So that makes me happy. So yeah, I had a bunch of little stuff like that. I just think about moments that make me happy, things that make me, happy. So I don't think it's, people make things so difficult, like it gotta be like something major, and it doesn't.
Yes, it's the simple things.
Yeah.
And joy is even when there are challenges, you still can find the joy.
Yeah.
Even in your struggle.
I've learned, this is gonna sound real preachy, but
come with it.
Pastor Michael Todd last week said that in his message that joy is a fruit of the Spirit.
Yes, it is.
And if you are not you can't find that in stuff. That ain't gonna make you have the joy that you need. Because that's the peace that surpasses understanding comes from God. That's something that whether everything is going crazy, you can still have peace. And it surpasses understanding. It don't make sense why you have peace in a situation. When I didn't have a job, people were like, I can't believe you still have a good attitude because it ain't based on the job. My joy don't come from this job. My joy comes from the peace of knowing that God is my provider and He's taking care of me every day. And I wait till I give my testimony about what's been going on with me recently. But yeah, so I'm like, God just continues to do that. And that's where you're going to get your joy from. He gives it to you. And He gives it freely. But you gotta, that is a fruit of the spirit and being connected. So if you're out here going, I need to have this car, these clothes, this, that, and that, it's not gonna make you fulfilled because you'll get all that and still be miserable. You got people who got millions and millions of dollars,
really
and they're sad.
They're
and
unhappy,
literally
killing themselves.
Exactly. So it's like,
and I'm trying to walk more in the fruit of the spirit in 2020. All of them. And I think I'm not gonna say I've mastered joy, but that joy is key.
Joy is one that, honestly, I feel like it's the easiest one because you really don't have control. You don't have control really of any of them, but you can choose to be intentional about looking for those efforts. Saying like, I could choose joy right now, or I could be choosing to be miserable or dwell on the negative, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you could definitely choose. Patience is the one that is the hardest, but I know now that I'm more aware, I'm like, okay, this is a moment where it's being stretched, or tested. So I'm trying to be like, okay, normally I would be like, hurry up, like, what are we doing? And now I'll be like, let's see how long can I just chill, So I think the more you do it, the better you can be at it.
And that anticipation list can help with the patience too. All right.
So yeah.
So for fun, a couple of things.
Yes.
Mantra for the year. Do you have a mantra or motto for the year?
Not really.
No. So
it's really all about action to me.
Yeah.
Right now it's like, don't talk about it, be about it.
Spring into action. Shifting. Well, mine is a little fun. It's agile and adventurous. So 1 year was the year of yes, right? I read someone said it's the year of no. Sometimes you have to say no so you can.
I am probably in that.
The year of no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a lot of things.
So I've adopted less is more, seek to understand. I'm agile and adventurous. I have a couple that I'll throw out, and that will be for the year to remind me less is more. Like, I think we've even scaled back on a number of networking events, right?
Yeah, because you want to be purposeful.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not, I'll be like, who's gonna be there? What's this? What is this about?
She sure does.
What's the topic?
What are we
getting out of this? Exactly. What are we getting out of this?
How much is it?
Time is valuable. I don't have time, and if I'm going to something, especially during the week, that's time away from my kids.
And is it worth it?
So I'm not just gonna be, going to everything, and my kids be like, what, you going to another meeting? No.
Right.
I'm right here, and I told him, I'm like, I'll start bringing them with me.
Yeah.
They've been with me to stuff. So
it's good for them to see.
Especially if it's like certain events, I'll be more open to bring them to, just because I think they would be more interested. But and they can learn from.
And it teaches listening skills, because I think a lot of kids don't listen well.
That's true.
We are dealing with a generation who do not listen.
And adults, we're not present.
Yeah.
So
you're right. Your presence is a present.
Yep. And I want to bring my kids to more events where there's a lot of Black people that are professionals, just so they can that could be a normal sight for them.
I love it.
I
love it. All right, so we're going to wrap things up real quick. Bonus retrospective before we go to call to action.
Okay.
What are you going to start, stop, or continue?
Start working out. This month I'm stopping drinking because I educated myself on this laryngopharyngeal reflux thing that I have. And one of the things they said was that drinking can agitate it. It just, depends upon it. So that's one of the things. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I learned that my diet was a lot of it is affecting it.
Yep.
So reducing a lot of stuff out of my diet just so I can start seeing what is the cause. Like, what's kind of the trigger. It could be eggs. It could be dairy. It could be. So I got to do a lot of eliminating. So I'm going to stop some things in my diet. And what was the other one?
Stop and continue.
Oh, continue. Learning and personal development, going hard there, and making sure that things are all making sense, like things that are adding value, not just trying to be somewhere and be seen. Like, no, if they don't have anything to do with something that's adding to, then I can miss it.
Okay. So mine, I'm going to make sure I start to align to organizations and people that support the causes close to my heart, i.e. the Black Girls Code. I'm going to stop missing my AM workouts because I've been sleeping through them, and I can tell the difference in my energy and my sleep when I don't get up and...
That must be what's wrong with me.
I
can't do your early workout, but...
And I might start doing 2-a-days, depending on, this old body. I'm going to continue being intentional, open to new opportunities, and not settling both professionally or personally. So,
that's all I got to say.
The call to action for you all that are listening, number 1, do your own personal retrospection. What will you start, stop, and continue? And write out your second quarter goals and figure out what is your anticipation and happy list for the year.
Because if you, let's say you missed the first 2 months, you didn't get going, you've still been kind of sitting around, that's fine. Start now.
Yeah.
You can start fresh. I feel like every Monday you can start something fresh.
I do too.
It's like, I'll start on Monday. It's just a good, clean day to start new things. So every Monday, just start fresh if you need to, but start.
And restart if you need to. I feel and believe that truly everything is connected. People, opportunities, places, they all eventually connect, and we're learning that as we navigate through our networking journey and just the journey of the Bold Black Girls podcast. And I think we should write an anticipation list for
the podcast specifically.
Yep.
I like
so that's our takeaway. So
make sure another thing you need to take away is that you need to subscribe, rate, and review this episode, and send us a note. Let us know what you think. Communicate with us, boldblackgirls@gmail.com, or go to boldblackgirls.com. You can find everything. Get your Bold Black Girls t-shirt.
Yes.
All those good things, but we really like to hear from you. So that would help us know what kind of things you want to hear about on the podcast. And then what else? I think
that's it.
Yeah.
And
all right.
We look forward to hearing from you all.
Yep. Have a bold week. And we will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace out.